Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to another F1 Esports World Championship video on F1 24 in the 2025 season. And as you can see, we're heading out for round number 7 around Zandvoort, my home track, kind of my home track. We're obviously not physically there while we're driving this. This F1 Esports Championship is run in Stockholm, Sweden, LAN event, and that's why there's no face cam as well. That's just not being recorded, I guess. Or at least this is the only footage I get. Anyway, on to the more important stuff. As you can see, we're leading the championship for the first time in over 3 years. For the first time since December 2021, which is the last time we won the championship as well. So very, very good feeling to be finally back on top. You can see there as well. We're 49 points behind Mercedes going into this round. And yeah, that's far, far away from catching up. Because even if we finish 1-2 and Merc don't score any points, which at the moment it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, we are still going to be behind by 6 points. So we have to lock in if we want to get this championship back in the constructors and start scoring big points. As you can see, as we head into turn 1, a lot of entry understeer and on high downforce tracks. That's what I've been struggling with forever on the F1 games. Already when I won the championships on high downforce tracks, I just struggled to get the front end to turn in on entry. It's just like the tire model on this game doesn't like turning and braking at the same time. Obviously in real life, if you put too much brake pressure on while you're turning, there's no load on the inside tire and you lock up. But on this game, you just, if you trail brake, you don't seem to gain any extra rotation, and it's been like that for so long. And yeah, I just don't like that feeling. But so far this year, we have coped with it well because we are first in the championship. So we seem to be okay with it. And obviously after playing the F1 games for such a long time, at some point you find a way around it and you just get used to it, right? And get better. But every now and then I still understeer wide on entry like you saw there in turn 1. But that's okay, because it means there's time to find in our lap. But you can see that first lap was P13 only. So we have to lock in here for this final run in Q1 if we want to make it to Q2. As you can see there straight away in turn 1 we gain some time. 300s doesn't seem like a lot, but with how close qualifying is around Zandvoort in F1 Esports, 300s can literally be the difference between P20 and P11 or P10. So yeah, it's crucial. 110 up, and it's been a pretty solid lap so far. Again, a little bit of understeer on entry. However, we carry a lot of speed, and we're 1.5 tenths up as we head into the left hand. Again, a lot of understeer on entry. So we lost a little bit of time on the left hand, and just over pushing the entry a little bit. However, still 110 up. 108, 115 from Nicolas Longue as we head through the chicane. Barry Bormand improves on that with a 108.0 as we head into the final corner. I have to correct on the apex, and unfortunately I just couldn't get a power down nicely. And yeah, that's us out in Q1. We're going to be starting P17 at best here. Just made sure I stayed on the grass there at the very end. Yeah, it is going to be P17, and we only have to improve by 500ths to make it through. We were up 1.5 tenths at some point. But yeah, just couldn't quite cope with the oversteer in the final corner. And yeah, it's just, balance was all over the place. Struggling with a lot of entry, understeer, and then in the high speed, or middle to high speed corners, a lot of oversteer. So yeah, it was frustrating to not make it into Q2. And yeah, our teammates Freddie Rasmussen there in P8. And it just felt like we didn't quite have the pace around there for some reason. It happens a lot on this F1 game where you can get pole on one track and then you move to the other track and suddenly the same person that had pole goes out in Q1 or in Q2. And yeah, that's the tough part about this game and also F1 Esports in general, you know. And as you can see there in Q3, Barry Borman on pole, so he gets that pole position point, which is very lovely that he beat Ismail Fassi to it, because that means Ismail gets one less point, our championship rival. But in the end of the day, he's starting P2. We're starting down in P17. And yes, we have to make a comeback here, because if Ismail wins this race and we lose 25 points, would be a huge blow in the championship. So yeah, we need to hope that we can come back to like P5. Realistically, we're not going to get much more than a P5, and that Ismail doesn't win the race. So yeah, really need to hope Barry locks in here and gets a win, or maybe Freddy from P8. That would be even more lovely, because as you can see there's no Merc in the top 10 as well. And as you can see there, start of the race, it is gonna be slicks, but it's very fast gonna turn to a wet track. And this is what we need. We needed a miracle in this one. P17 around Zandvoort would basically mean almost no point guarantee, because it's so difficult to overtake. And the rain is just what we needed. That's crucial for a championship as we go through turn 1. And as you can see, a huge crash up ahead. I have to avoid Shanaka there on the inside. We get an illegal overtake. That's going to get removed, obviously, because that is for an illegal overtake on Otis Lawrence, who was part of that incident. So that penalty is going to be removed. We're not going to have to give that position back. We're avoiding an incident with Shanaka there. And 4 positions gained. This is the start we needed, and this is the race we need to fight back in this championship, to almost keep it alive, because we cannot score 0 points. That's rule 101 in F1 Esports, basically. We have to score points every single race if we want to win this championship. And our championship rival, Ismail Fassi, in P3 at the moment. We're only 2 points ahead. And yeah, we need to come back in this race. So opening lap done, 4 positions gained, no damage crucially. And we've overtaken some very fast people. Unfortunately, Freddy caught up in that incident. Again, taking quite a big hit for us in the constructors, because yeah, Freddy or us score little points and Merc score some points again compared to us. That's not going to be ideal. Istvan Pukki ahead of us right there, 2 positions ahead, coming into the box. At the end of lap 2, a lot of people, as you can see there, I think around 8 or 9 people.
Problems, very smooth. Red Bull will no doubt be very happy with that stop.
Thank you very much, Crofty, once again. A lot of people coming into the pits. And yeah, we had to. It was either this lap or the lap after, because yeah, Freddy would have to box at some point as well. Going 1 lap longer would kind of work. But then if I would have stay out 1 lap longer, and Freddy as well, then Freddy would have to go even 1 lap longer, or me. And that's the scenario Ferrari is in right now. You can see them both still out on track. And that means they would either have to double stack this lap, or one of them would have to stay out another one again. And at that point, you would lose so much time on the slicks. It would be, yeah, a big loss on track position and on total race time. So yeah, it is too dry at the moment. We will get a lot of tire wear while we're out on these inters. We're absolutely burning through them at the moment, but we will gain track position. So yeah, the question is it worth it to gain 3, 4, 5 positions and gain that much tire wear? We will only find out at the end of this race. It is a risk, but from P13, we have to take it. We're down to P17 again, but as you can see, we head into turn 1. That is up to P11 already before everyone is out of the pit. So P11 it is. Another 2 positions gained, but it is a lot of extra tire wear. You can see there are still 2 cars out on track, and with the rain just increasing, we're going to gain another 2 positions probably and move up to P9. So that's 2 points already. As you can see, very lovely there as well. I think one of the kick cars, I think Thomas, has gotten into P2 ahead of Ismail. So Ismail gained the position with Nicolas Longe staying out too long, of course, but then lost one again to the kick Sauber of Thomas Ronhaar. And now we're going to go on the attack on Istvan Pukki into turn 1. We're going to go around the outside. Unfortunately, just not enough grip around the outside. Wet lines do not work on the F1 game, but we got the momentum, and into turn number 3, we managed to go around the outside, which turns to the inside for turn number 4, but we just can't get the power down. You can hear my wheel spinning as we head through the next left and the right. We leave the space for Istvan, of course, so we're gonna try and go around the outside again. But yeah, as I said before, wet lines do not work on the F1 game. If anything, they are opposite of what it should be grip-wise. So yeah, we lost the position to Joni Tomala there, trying to get past Istvan Pukki, which is frustrating. And yeah, Istvan with a penalty there. Not sure if that's gonna stand, of course. Not sure what that's for. Could be for a illegal overtake, but if it's for speeding into the pits, that's gonna stay. As Otis is getting close there to us, we're trying to recharge our battery a little bit. Lap 13, or end of lap 13, I should say. And Istvan Pukki and Tom Manley coming into the pits there at the end of lap 13. So that is gonna be tricky. 23 laps on a set of intermediates to the end, when we are not sure what's going to happen weather-wise, is a tricky one. In normal conditions, Inters can probably make it 23 laps, but yeah, if it dries up at the end, then they would have to make another pit stop, and that's, I think, not going to work around Zandvoort. It's too difficult to overtake. Obviously, if you have a really big tire advantage, it can work, but let's say we do another 5, 6, 7, 8 laps, then we're going to be relatively fresh tires as well. So yeah, we're not sure. The safe thing was to just stay out as long as we can, and yeah, just play it safe tire-wise, because we do not want to get a puncture in the end. And that's why we're deciding to let Nicolas Longe through here at the start of lap 18, because I wasn't sure if I was going to make it on a 2-stop in this race. At this point, I was confident that everyone who boxed lap 13, 14, 15 was not going to make a 2-stop. They would have to go for 3-stop. And that's why we're now boxing. At the end of lap 22, you can see the tire wear indicator has come on. We're going to have to box for a new set of inters. And it's going to be 14 laps to the end, which we should be able to make, unless it dries up really early.
A decent time in the pits, and the team
Then
will
it
be
might
hoping
become
they
tricky.
can get back into action as fast as possible,
But yeah.
so they don't lose too much time from this stop.
Can you just shut up? Crofty. I do not need to hear this. We drop down to P16, which seems like a disaster, of course, but let's not forget, we are on quite fresh tires. There's a lot of people who have to box again because they have opted for the 3-stop, whereas we on the 2-stop. So we're gonna gain a lot of positions back once all those people start boxing. And yeah, for now we're just gonna sit behind Thomas for a bit, save tires, in case it does dry up early. Again, just want to make sure that we make it to the end from here. So yeah, 14 laps on the set of inters. Let's just play it safe, and then we can start pushing later on in case, you know, it stays wet. Lap 26 now, and you can see it's still very, very wet. 10 laps to go at the end of this one, and I knew at this point it wasn't gonna dry up early, and now it's 10 qualifying laps to the end on this set of intermediates, with Otis Lawrence boxing there for a new set of the intermediates. We're gonna stay out. Nicolas Longe has boxed again as well, obviously going longer than us in that second stint. Same with Frey Rasmussen, our teammate, going longer in that second stint, the first stint on the intermediates, and that means they're gonna be faster. Realistically, they are not in our race. They're gonna finish ahead of us. But you can see, even though Nicolas is on 2-3 lap fresh tires, he's still struggling a little bit getting through the field. You can see how much we've gained over the past few laps. by just pushing on those fresher intermediates relative to a lot of people ahead of us. Shanika Clay going defensive. He has picked up 10 seconds of penalties for speeding in the pit lane. So he's not even in our race at this point. His race is over, and we're going to move up to P9. And yeah, let's hope Nicolas Longue can make some moves so we can try and follow him through. He has Joni Tormela ahead of us, who I think boxed in the same lap as us, but is again just struggling to fight through the field. We are in the fight for P4 here. The top 3 has bolted off, and you might be wondering how on earth did they get so far ahead. We've been stuck behind, I think, Alfie Butcher. We've been running around with front wing damage a lot of the race. And now we're going to try and move past Joni Tormela. Around the outside we go, which turns to the inside. He leaves us a space nicely. We're going to leave him the space on the exit as well, of course. And now, unfortunately, as he goes around the outside, he has more momentum. He squeezed a little bit onto the grass. And we have to settle for P9 for now. But obviously we're going to go on the attack soon again. 7 laps to go at the end of this one. And we got some slower cars ahead of us. Freddy behind us on a lot fresher set of the intermediates, or 2 or 3 laps at least, and that's why we're gonna let him through here, so he can make up as much positions as possible with that fresher set of the intermediates. And yeah, Joni Tormela, Lucas Blakely. I think Lucas Blakely boxed really early for his second stint, and yeah, this is, or his third stint, I should say. Yeah, he's going to be struggling a lot in these final 6 laps. So we're going to go on the attack here into the chicane. I was not going to let him squeeze me onto the grass. He squeezed us into the gravel. We had the right to be there. F1 Esports rules, racing rules, slightly different to real one. Your front wheel needs to be past the rear wheel on turn-in of the corner to be given space, which we were. And then we were not given space for the next one, even though we were far enough alongside. So we're not gonna get penalized for that. Up to P9 we move, and as you can see now, it has started drying up at the very end, but still really far away from slick tires. And now we're behind Alfie Butcher again. I think he boxed quite early to get his front wing repaired. So yeah, we're gonna go on the attack here into the final lap. Freddie Rasmussen, our teammate, in P7. We're gonna go on the attack into turn number 1. We have quite a bit more ERS to play with, and as you can see, Alfie does not stand a chance. No ERS left for him, and we're gonna move up to P8 with Ismail Fassi in P2 actually, which I'm quite happy to see that he's not winning the race here, because that would be an extra 7-point loss to us. As Barry has been quite up and down this season so far, so yeah, he could be in the championship fight at the very end. We're not sure, because so many people are being inconsistent with results that no one is having a really good season, including us. Because yeah, last time out we didn't score big in Spa, we didn't score big in Silverstone, and we're not gonna score big again here. It's just P7 and P8 all the time. Scoring 4, 6, 8 points. It's not enough to win a championship.
Nice one. Very lovely drive. On to the next one.
Yeah, very simply said, if we do not get on with this championship in the final 5 rounds here, next up is going to be Kota. Then there's going to be Mexico, Brazil, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. Then we're not going to win this championship. It is as simple as that. As Freddy lets me go for the Drivers' Championship, which is very lovely, because with the championship this tight, every single point is going to count, and these 2 points might make a huge difference at the end of this championship. So again, big thank you to Freddy for letting us go there at the very end. And yeah, unfortunately, Jake Benham in P4 there, scoring 12 points. Both me and Freddy finished P7 and P8, which means we scored 10 points at the top of my head. So again, we lose 2 points to Mercedes in the Constructors, and we lose big to Ismail Fassi. Obviously, in the Drivers' Championship, we lose 12 points, which means we're going to be 10 points behind heading into the final 5 rounds of this F1 Esports World Championship. We got Kota in Texas coming up next. So historically, that's a great track for us. Never scored out of the points. And I've won there twice in 2021 and 2022. So let's try and make that 3 times. Next time out, because we need it. As simple as that. Yeah, Thomas Ronnaar coming home in P3 there. I think he's having quite solid event as well. And yeah, as you can see, they're 10 points behind Ismail Fassi. And now Thomas Ronnaar suddenly a championship rival again, because he's been scoring consistently good points in this event. And now we're 51 points behind Mercedes in the constructors. 5 rounds to go. And a huge hill to climb in a team championship. And we need to start scoring big points in the drivers' championship as well. Otherwise, we're not going to be a 3-time F1 Esports World Champion. Alfie Butcher only 10 points behind as well. Danny Beresne has not even driven all races. Did not drive this race. Only 13 points behind. Same with Istvan Pukki, who did not even score points in this race. And he's still only 14 points behind. And he did not drive all races. So, yeah. P2 to P8 only separated by 20 points. P1 to P8 only separated by 30 points. This is turning into a crazy championship. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe for more racing videos. Make sure to use code OPMER in the EA app to give me money when you order F1 25. You know, there's always these creators saying, oh, to support me. But, you know, at the end of the day, we just get money for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and see you guys later. Ciao.